Good morning. Welcome back to MYDO Tackle Talk. I got one camera, two cameras, three cameras, and four cameras. This time we're going to get it right. I don't know why the focus doesn't want to play the game sometimes. Anyway, I'm getting it set up going that we're going to be able to do this more often. In the meantime, we've got a lacquer project today. We're going to rig up a telescopic Couta Trace with two hooks, adjustable, onto this massive, beautiful, brand new MYDO concave version. It's been inspired by Porsche GT3 RS. It's got a beautiful spoiler at the back for extra downforce. In the meantime, this is not easy, eh? Let me tell you what's going to happen now. There's going to be blood. There's going to be sweat, and at least we're recording it this time. It's a lot of fun, but yes, you can hurt your fingers. I'm telling you. So I'll move this camera slightly back. All right, here's the work zone. Everyone can see that finger. I think so. All right, let's start. First of all, we're going to make it telescopic. So I'm using number 7 wire. It's actually easier to tie number 7 wire than number 6 and 5. So I'm going to use this number 7, sorry. Very powerful stuff. And I'm going to be using a 4X treble hook as usual. 2 of them, and we're going to rig this up to go from sardine size, even smaller than sardine, all the way up to maybe even shad or bonito. So the starting point is wire, obviously, and how long the back dropper is going to be. So we're going to make quite a long drop over here, and now we are also going to tie double. So I'm going to just break the wire here. Okay, that's how the fish do it, and then I'm going to have an equal distance on here. Okay, here we go. Now the pain starts. Now the pain begins. So grab a hook. Put both of those little things through. We're making a rigid back hook because it's nothing worse than trebles flailing around a bait, and that looks terrible. The bottom line is that these traces are horrifying underwater. They look terrible. So to try and get as stealthy as possible, this is not easy, I said to you, this is not easy. I've got my wrong glasses on. Okay, once those are all through, pull it up tight. Number 7 makes it really difficult, actually, to pull it up tight anyway, but this part gets easier. Although, who am I kidding? It's easier, check. It just seems to go better. You don't need to have too many wraps there, hay wires, because the wire is so strong, and then no one's going to move that knot ever. Okay, now comes the pain to get those two things off there. You can use pliers. I've always said don't use pliers, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to use pliers because my fingers get cut to shreds. So you come from this back end here, where you can just get as close as possible to take those off. Because if you have to handle that, okay, that worked out great. But basically, sometimes you leave a little, like a 1 millimeter, and if you grab that, straight into your fingers. Okay, we're looking good. Now we're going to have to just do a loop on here because we're going to carry on afterwards, and we're going to do 2 of these. In fact, this could be the front one, this could be the back one. But the back one should be a bit longer than the front one, so you get a little bit of extra adjustment when you finally put this thing together. But yeah, once again, another terrible knot. Oh, we're not doing it like that, so we're doing it just around the actual hook like that, because we are going to make this adjustable. Okay, I could have made this a little bit longer even, but we'll do this with the front one, and the back one will make it quite a lot longer. All right, let me just get this knot finished. Yeah, maybe number 7 wire is a bit overkill. This number 7 double trace like this will hold on to a billfish. It'll hold on to anything. So the question is what leader to put. And you've heard me talk about this before, and most of you agree. The bloody leader makes such a noise underwater. The wire, this stuff, under strain, sounds terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay, so here we've got one. It's not the neatest one in the world, but I think you can all see it from all angles. Now we have to make another one. So we make it longer this time, slightly longer, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we'll go about here. So yes, I have got pliers. I just like to use the manual method. Otherwise, if you start using pliers all the time, you get used to it, and then you lose your hand, you lose your neck. Okay, very cool. Okay, back to the pain, back to the house of pain. No blood so far. Give yourself some room to work. Crank it around. Ring number 7 is quite resistance. Okay, there you go. Crank that in. And now I've left myself very little room to operate, which is okay, because we're going to use pliers to break those things off. If I try to break off with my fingers, this number 7, it'll go right in my finger, I'm telling you. You've got to be careful of these little tags that float around the place, because your doggy or your kid or someone could get really hurt by these things. Yeah, you've got to get in there tight. Okay. Now, to do the same story, but we actually can put this onto the hook directly, but we're not going to. We're just going to do the same story, because this is the second one. Nice and long. Okay. One thing this telescopic trace also does is reduces the knots that you have to tie. These pliers are like 50 years old or more. The original MYDO pliers. Okay, so there we are. Got all the little tag ends which you're going to throw away. And now what I've already put this through. You just go through the front hole and come out the back hole. Get it, give yourself some room to work, about that far. Give it a little bit of a crank, and now you got that effect. So the first job to do is thread this thing through this thing. So this is not easy. Went easy. Like that, and that goes through there. Okay, so there's the telescopic effect. Very cool. Now, you drop that. So hook goes first. You don't really have to put the hook first, but it goes first. And then that goes. Put it all together. This wire goes through the back hole. And you gently push this up and into place. Very easy. It's very simple. It's very simple. Hope you can see it from the top camera, and hope you can see it from the side camera. I'm not sure. Okay, now that we've got the whole operation coming together, we just seal it off with a very good, gently tied haywire twist with a couple of barrels. You don't have to put too many barrels. I find if you put too many barrels, you can sometimes get a kink. Then the normal way to break wire, like we used to do in the old days, is just to keep on there until it's off. But anyway, now you can adjust the angle of attack. But that's, to me, is ultimate bait swimmer trace configuration. So if you get a live bait, just put this in the top hook. Let me sit down again. If you get a live bait, you just put this in the top lip. Then let him go, because the thing will just keep that live bait in the right place. You don't have to have a bait swimmer head on a live bait trace, but this is a double function trace, so you don't have to change traces. So if you can't find a live bait, there's your sardine trace. There it is. If you can find a live bait, just extend that out. So you'll get quite a big shad or bonito. And yeah, we could have put a third one on, but for purposes of not making a 10-minute long video, can you believe that? 10 minutes. For purposes of the video, I just did 2. But you can probably do as many as you like. You get a walla on here. It's much easier tying it this way because it reduces the amount of knots you have to tie. Thank you very much for watching that ordeal. No blood, but a cold coffee. Once again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. It's going to be a great place to learn. I'm learning, and we're all going to learn together. Thank you. Ciao.